Eloise Hall woke when her fiancé's alarm went off. Thankfully, the first light of day had started to seep through the curtains, and Eloise knew she wouldn't go back to sleep. She'd had a terrible time falling asleep, too, because today marked only 3 days until her wedding, and her dress was completely tailored and ready to be picked up. Robin would be by at 9:30 to take Eloise to the dress shop, and then they needed to finalize the fruit platter with the caterer as well. She'd selected a seasonal fruit buffet, and the caterer now knew what they could offer. "Getting up, sweetheart?" Aaron asked from his side of the bed. "Yes," she said. "I promised Billy I'd help her with her hair today, and I've got a call with Marge before Robin's coming." "I can't wait to see the dress," he said, coming around to her side of the bed. He leaned over and kissed her. "You can see it in 3 days," Eloise said, feeling soft and warm inside this house, this bed, the arms of this man. "Not a day sooner, I'm sure," Aaron said, smiling. "Not a day sooner," Eloise said. Can you imagine the scandal that would hit the Cove Chronicles if it got out that the chief of police had seen his bride's dress before the wedding day? "If that's the huge scandal that gets attached to my name, I'll take it," he said, sighing as he sat on the bed near her knees. "Are they going to print the article about your dad?" "He says this kind of stuff happens every election year." "I don't understand what would possess someone to want to run for office." "It takes a special breed of human being," Aaron agreed, his hand moving down Eloise's leg. "You and the girls will be back in time for dinner with my parents?" "Of course," Eloise said, enjoying Aaron's touch against her skin. "We'll be on the 5:20 ferry, and we'll be here by 6. "Great," he said. "The food will be delivered at 6:30, and we'll eat soon after that." "I'll make sure the girls are at nearly their best before we leave the inn," Eloise said. "They're my parents," Aaron said. "They know what Billy and Grace are like. Right after their mother left, my mom came over. We were all a horrible mess, and I don't think I'd brushed poor Grace's hair for a week." Eloise lay in bed and listened to him talk for a few more minutes, and then he stood. "I'm going to go shower, love." "Okay." Eloise rolled over and closed her eyes, letting the soothing sound of the rainfall showerhead lull her back to sleep. When Aaron came back into the bedroom to put on his shoes, she woke again. "I love you, El," he said on his way out the door, and Eloise repeated the sentiment back to him. A few minutes later, she got out of bed and padded down the hall in her nightgown, where she found Aaron making coffee and Billy shoving books in her backpack. The silence in the kitchen meant they'd started this Thursday with an argument, and the way Billy looked at Eloise with such earnestness confirmed it. "Make sure you have your math homework," Aaron said, turning and sipping from his mug. "I've got it, Dad," Billy snapped. Eloise wasn't sure what they'd argued about, and she swept into the kitchen to get a cup of coffee, her eyes on Aaron. "What's going on?" "Billy wants to bring a date to our wedding," he said. Eloise had not yet picked up a cup, a fact she was very glad of, for she'd probably have dropped it. Her eyes flew back to Billy, who cocked her hip and put one hand on it. She'd matured a lot this year, and Eloise loved her fiercely. The protective streak she possessed for Billy didn't make sense to her, and she knew it was only stronger for Aaron. "It's not a date, Dad." "When you bring a boy to a wedding, it's a date," Aaron said. "He's my friend." "Who is it?" Eloise asked, placing both palms against the countertop. She stood next to Aaron, and she hoped they were a united front.